Gritty team together, completely by committee. Everybody stepped into their role and trusted each other, played with energy, defended the right way, shared the basketball. I thought these guys did just a tremendous job of trusting each other and playing with an unbelievable spirit.
What does it say about the resilience of your team that you guys had answers most of the night as they kind of fought back, and although they got closer at the end, you guys were still able to come out with that? Just what does it say about the resilience of your team?
I think it says so much. It's this group. It's who they are. It's what they've grabbed a hold of to be tough, gritty, confident in each other, no matter what the circumstances are. Because everybody, we talked about it before we left, to come here. The state that we were in, and these guys did not let that rattle them. They bonded together and figured out a way.
Shot making obviously slowed after the first quarter, but how did that at the beginning of the game kind of get you guys into a flow?
Well, that's the confidence you talk about that you want guys to have after putting all the work in, understanding that shots may or may not fall, but you have to continue to rely on your defense, and that's what we did in that first half. And then, down the stretch, Dame got himself going a little bit. They attacked the basket, made some big shots, but our guys kept a level of poise about them the entire game.
Franz's defense on Dame, obviously a big part.
I thought he was incredible. I really do. I think the way in which he takes on that challenge, guarding some of the team's best players and not backing down, and then being asked to do the task on the offensive end as well. So you can't say enough about what he does, but also that just by committee and the way in which these guys played for one another all night long.
What did you see on that possession that led to the Wendell Carter dunk there with about 25 seconds?
Well, we called the timeout. We thought about going for the quick 2-for-1, and the guys they communicated to one another if you don't have to rush it. And so what they did, Paolo turns the corner, gets downhill, throws it back to Cole. He doesn't rush the three, attacks to get downhill. They overhelp, and Wendell Carter gets the dunk. That was a gigantic play for us in that moment. But the communication in the huddle, the communication in the timeouts, the communication on the floor was very at a high level for this group for what we've been asking them to do.
Sticking with that play, the way that Cole distributed the ball tonight, not only finding his shot, how important was that for you guys?
That was gigantic. I really do. I think Cole was good. Cole was really good. I know you had some moments where we looked up a little bit like what's going on, but then there were the moments where he made the big-time plays, and I think that's part of who he is. We've always said be fearless in what you do and how you do it, and trust making the right basketball plays.
Obviously, rotations are changing still at this point in the season, but you went to Gary for the first time in 5 games. What did you see out of him, and what went into that decision?
I think just, Gary always plays with a level of poise. He plays with a level of poise, and you're playing a veteran team like Milwaukee. You want guys out there that have that poise and that have that level of consistency to them. And he knows these guys. He's played them for quite some time, so I thought that was just the right call in this moment. And he's been sitting over there and been great with our young guys, been great with the group, with his energy, his focus, his communication. It's exactly what we want our vets to be able to do.
The defense on that final possession, what did you see?
I mean, the length. I think the length of Franz in that situation, being able to contest it high and bringing somebody over just to put bodies on him. I think that's the most important thing. I mean, Dame has hit a ton of game winners, and I think our ability to have length in that situation was very key.
Just going back to Gary, how have you seen, you mentioned it a little bit, but how have you seen him kind of handle the variable role at this stage in his career and this stage in the season?
Gary has been a pro, and the thing about it is that he's communicated with the young guys the things that he sees with them, how they can be better, the things that we need to do, that he just constantly communicates. And I think his energy has been fantastic as of late, whether he's playing or not playing. He's staying consistent with what we need him to be and do.
Paolo, I think, had 29 tonight. I know he was kind of going back and forth with Giannis there at the end. Just how much can a performance like this, maybe not compare him, obviously, to Giannis, because Giannis is his own being, but just what does it say about where he's at in his third year as kind of a guy in this league?
I think his confidence just continues to rise. I mean, you saw it in the big moments when he took the big shot, wasn't afraid to make the big play, but then he wasn't trying to force it because there was times he was looking for Franz and putting him in situations. That's why I talk about that line, the lines of communication in the huddles. As you're drawing plays, they're communicating the things that they see, how they can do it for the other. And I think that's so important with this team, that they're selfless in that way, that they want to see their teammates succeed, but also they just want to make the right play. And that's what's big with Paolo and how he's growing and continuing to communicate and lead.
Jamahl, how do you see the conference at this point, and what do you feel is possible or feasible for you guys over what's left?
I really honestly just one game at a time. I think this conference is just so up and down, and the difference between the 5th and the 10th are just, it's going to keep fluctuating. And I think we all just have to keep taking it one day at a time and control what we can control and play the way in which we need to play.
How did you guys, how did you like your guys' conversion on turnovers tonight?
I thought we did a decent job. You turn them over 13 times for 21 points. I think that's pretty good. We challenged the guys to get out on the break, to play fast, because you don't want to play against their set defense, because they've been playing tremendous defense. And so our ability to get out and play before their defense is set is something that we're just going to have to continue to do because we're going to hang our hat on the defensive end of the floor. We've got to make sure we convert on the other end. I know they only have us down for 7 fast break points, but I believe we might have had probably 15 to 17.
Good. Thank you.